So yesterday, just to do a recap, we saw about proxy management. We saw some of the options here or the nodes here on the manage employee sections on reset user account, on reset user passwords, and proxy management, how an administrator will handle. Yeah, and then we also saw about the company settings, which is commonly used across many modules. We saw a couple of functions on it, and basically the company settings, general company settings, and how do we upload the logo, how do we what all functionalities we need to maintain when it comes to a new client, regarding spell check or the legal scan library. All those we saw yesterday, on whether we need to activate it or not, and if we have to activate, where we need to activate it. We saw that yesterday, and we covered a couple of other functions on company dictionary, email notification templates, where if for any process that needs to be initiated, or that the process that's getting triggered, and you want to send an email notification, how do you do that, and how do you create your content for doing the email notifications, we covered. And then we saw about password login policy and settings. We saw the feature of text replacement, and what else we covered yesterday? I think that's it, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So in continuation of yesterday's chapter on foundation, and we also saw about how do we manage homepage and manage the themes, right? That's what Sanjita worked on yesterday, right? So having said that, okay, that is an let me take you through rating. No, I'm just trying to see what are all the common functions. Rather, I don't want to go to did we see legal scan library yesterday, Sanjita?
No, we did not.
No, right? Okay. Okay. In SuccessFactor, we have a functionality as legal scan. Okay, for example, during review, you don't want a specific, it's similar to the company dictionary. In company dictionary, what do? We save all the words which is very much specific to the company, even though it is not part of the dictionary, the normal English dictionary, and we save it. And I also took you through how do you import the company dictionary words into the system. Yeah, and how do we export the dictionary from the SuccessFactor system on the existing words, like that. This legal scan library is a function where you don't want during review, okay, during any kind of review, you don't want a particular word to be used, okay, then you can put that word here, okay, and do a search, okay, which will tell you whether you are supposed to use that word or not. For example, if you say, okay, crime, okay, you can search that word. So what happens is, it says it cannot find that word you enter. If you like to add the word into the library, then please enter the suggestion and hit save button. So you can go ahead and save this word, okay, here. So you will be able to save this word. So during review, either during performance management or during an recruitment interview review, where they are trying to do an HR interview, okay, when the reviewer, either he could be a recruitment user or a performance management user, okay, if he is going to go and type the word crime, and then if you had activated the legal scan library functionality. So what do? You remember in company settings and logo, we go and say whether you want this function to be activated or not. So when we go and activate it there and save the list of words here, this will, when the review is happening, it will say that as per legal scan library, you are not supposed to use this word. It will give you a message. Okay. So having said that, as I was telling you yesterday, in SuccessFactor, all the data management happens through import export functionality. Even if you're going to update an employee level master data or an configuration level data, all the data are enabled or entered into the system through an import export functionality. So you will be, for any value in the system which requires which requires mass data, okay, which has more data to be uploaded, more data to be maintained in the system, you will be having a functionality to import it into the system. Okay, you don't have to manually maintain it. Similarly, for legal scan library, we will be able to import the list of words under the legal scan library import. Okay, here. So what you need to do, the format is very simple, just the list of words in a CSV file. So SuccessFactor always takes only an CSV file. Okay, so you will update all the list of words in a CSV file. Okay, and import that file here in this place. Okay, so I would, as I okay. Um, I would type this here. Okay, these are all the things which I want you to do everyday class. So I would send this to you along with the recording. So if you haven't tried something which you missed because you got the system access only yesterday, right, I will send you the recording, Fiza. You can listen to the yesterday's session. Okay, if you have some doubts, please let me know. Okay, I want you to update company dictionary, okay, which we saw yesterday. Update legal scan library. Okay, the format is just the list of words. If there is going to be a complicated format, then SuccessFactor will give you the format as you saw for which day, for I showed you for proxy management. You remember, Sanjita, I showed you a format, how you get the template and you upload it for proxy management. So when there are...
Yes, actually you said today you're going to show on proxy another user to this user. You said you will tell after seeing the data that's available.
Yes, I didn't
so
find...
that's what we did miss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't find time to look at it. I will just be in the next class. I will show you. Okay. I want to see
Okay.
how the system is working when it comes to sales demo. I really didn't find to look at it today. Okay. Before I complete foundation, I will show you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We will work on some sample file on proxy management probably in the next class. I will look for some data and create something in the Excel file, okay, with the existing team members. Yesterday, so like proxy management, if the template is complicated, so yesterday I just wanted to show it for the sake of visa. So this is where we handle our proxy management settings or as an administrator, where you will be able to do it for each user. Okay, but if you want to do it for more number of people, where you want to set proxy for more set of people, okay, you do it here under company settings. I keep forgetting the ouch. Oh, here, sorry. I have been used to this looking up here. Okay, so I was telling yesterday that if you know the terminology on what you are going to do or what is the node you are looking for, you will be able to get it here. Okay, you don't have to go to each node and look for it. For example, for even for performance management, you want to work on forms. Okay, you go form template settings. So as long as you know the you know what is the terminology, you will be able to find it out here. Okay, so I'm go either to go to proxy management. When I know that I want to work on proxy, I can look it up over here, or I can, if I know in which function or which option it is going to be, I can go and do it here as well. Okay, so for proxy import, we do it here and update user information. Okay, so what is the template, what is the file format that needs to be uploaded? So normally when the file format is little complex, you will be able to view it here. So this is available, this kind of a template for each upload import will be available for us in the system when we are doing that functionality. Okay,
Lavanya, the same place where you were doing a proxy import, when we go to the home page,
mm-hmm.
the previous page,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, admin center,
Mm-hmm.
and um, in this tile, manage employees, on the left hand side where there is reset user account, below that there is proxy management.
Yeah.
So is that not where we can go directly?
See, proxy management is for when you have to manage proxy for a specific user separately. Okay, or you want to go ahead and look for the existing proxies, you want to know who are all the existing proxies. Okay, this page is basically to know one to one who are all the proxies. It gives you an information on who are all the proxies who is already available. And this is if you want to set a proxy one to one, you know, one person whom you want to assign proxy, you can put that. Okay, the proxy import functionality is if it is one to one person, you can do it. Okay, but you have to do for 10 people who needs proxy to be set with another user. In that case, every time you cannot look for that user, then look for the proxy user and then make them as proxy, right? In order to avoid the manual activity, we are doing an import. You get me, Fiza?
No.
See,
No, I didn't understand.
okay. You know what is proxy, right?
Proxy is when there is already one user and there's another account of the same user,
No.
or
Okay.
no?
No. Okay. It's because you missed yesterday's class. You're not okay. Let me tell you. Proxy if I am an user, okay, I am going to be on leave for 10 days. So who will work on my task list? What will happen to my task list when it is, I am a manager, and when my subordinate is applying leave, okay, and I'm not going to be there for 10 days, but he needs leave approval for go for Thursday. In that case, someone needs to approve the leaves that is in my inbox, right? Someone needs to access the work items which is in my inbox, right? So in that case, using this proxy functionality, I will be able to assign some other person who can work on my action list. Okay, so here that's what we are trying to do. As an administrator, security administrator, he will be able to set proxy. See who will act as the proxy, okay? What account holder will the proxy act on behalf of? Here it will be the person, here it will be my user ID, okay, basically, and here it will be the person who is going to work on behalf of me, okay? And I can determine what all he needs to have proxy rights to, all modules or only specific functions. That's what you're seeing here. Okay, for performance, for admin tool, for directory, for 360-degree, for succession management. So these are all different functions in the system, right? So for which of the functionality you want to give proxy, and as an administrator, we will be able to assign proxies for an user. Okay, if it is going to be, if it is just for me, okay, and I'm not going to be available, and I'm saying the administrator, please assign proxy as another person number, my peer who is working in the same department at my same level, please assign my proxy as him. Okay, one to one person is fine. Okay, if my whole department, we are all going on a trip, okay, or training for 10 days, I have 21 people in my department, okay, and those 21 people will be getting some task list because they are all processing users. Okay, for all those 21 people, if I go the security administrator and I say, for this 21 people, I want another 21 list of people, I have the list with me, can you do proxy for them? Then what he needs to do, he needs to manually do it here, right? Instead of doing one by one assigning proxy manually, okay, he can go ahead and update it in an Excel sheet, a CSV sheet, okay, and import the file.
Okay.
So that's what this proxy import is.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what it is for. So what happens normally in SuccessFactor designed that way. You will be able to import the information when you have more information to be fed into the system.
So it's the file that we will be importing, is it going to be in Excel format, you said?
CSV format.
CSV.
Yeah. Why is it not?
What's the full form of CSV? What is it?
Comma separated file. I don't know for V. It's comma
separated value.
Comma separated value, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It is like Excel itself.
It's like Excel. Okay. When you open, it will look like Excel. Let me. I don't know why it is say opening it. Let me open with. See, it will open in Excel. Okay. But when you make it as an notepad file. Let me see. See, it's a comma separated file. Okay, so it will basically be separated by comma, but normally what we do, it's more it takes the form of Excel so that the data update will become easy. If it is going to be notepad, right, you cannot put values in each column, right? So normally these comma separated files gets opened as an Excel file where you can, the extension of the file will be .csv instead of .xls. Okay, you get me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this CSV terminology is specific to SuccessFactors,
No,
right?
no. See, like Excel, like Word, like Notepad. Notepad can take different formats, can be tab delimited or comma separated, okay? But what do I say? Okay, if it's a common format of different form of files, okay? We can have a file, we can have data in a file with different delimiter. When we say delimiter, the one which separates one column from another. Let me open this.
Lisa, it is a normal way to save a file. You know, when you're saving a new file, there is an option to save it in CSV format.
Oh.
You have different formats of delimiter, okay? When we say delimited, these two columns are getting separated, right?
Right.
All getting separated, right? So these separation can happen through any one of the format. It could be comma, it could be semicolon, it could be a tilt, or it could be just a tab, okay? So when it is going to be separated by a comma, then it is a comma separated value file.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
it's a common format of a file.
Okay.
Okay. So what we were talking about, okay, I was telling you about legal scan library. So similarly, we will be able to update the legal scan library information through an import, okay? But the format is very simple. It is just the words which needs to be available for your company as a part of your review process or your feedback process. Okay. So this is about this one. Okay. Release center. So this release center, okay. What happens, what we are doing, we are handling a system, okay, an ERP system which is created by a third party, which is not which is an established system which is created by a third party, right? So what happens, there would be system changes, right? There would be system updates, structure level changes, or they would have changed some, they would have upgraded the system to make it presentable, they would have enabled the system to have more values, right? So those system updates are handled under this release center and the upgrade center. Okay, so what happens is any ERP system, any ERP system or any software system, okay, will have something called as an the company who is responsible for this software, okay, for this ERP will provide you an release strategy or a release schedule. What it means is they will provide updates to the system, they will make release updates to the system which we need to incorporate in our client. So SuccessFactor, SAP SuccessFactor, what they do, they upgrade the system, they make the developments in their company, okay, at their development center, and those developments will have to be updated in our system in order to be in par with the functionalities, right? Because we are handling the third party system which will go for changes, right? So and those changes have to be updated into our system. So for us to upgrade update those changes, they give something called as an releases, okay? So for SuccessFactor, they basically do 4 releases in a year. Every quarter there will be one release, okay? So this release has to be updated into the system, okay? So what they do is there will be basically 2 clients, okay, and the one client is called a testing client, okay, one client is called the production client. So what happens, these releases will first be tested at the testing client. When we say testing client, you will be seeing the same instance, okay, all the settings will be the same, but it is a testing environment. Real-time data, real-time processing will not happen there, okay. There will be a company ID, there will be an user ID and a password that will be given, and that will be given only for the administration or the support team, okay. The end users will not get access to the testing team unless and until, not all the users. For example, if there are 1,000 employees in a company, not all the 1,000 users will get access to the testing server. Normally, the key users who will be testing the processes for any changes will be having access to the testing client or the testing server, okay. And what happens, they will be testing the releases, they will be doing the upgrades. So what is this upgrade is about? So what happens, one system functionality has been, so if you see here, okay, it will basically tell you what is the current release, okay. This is what you are seeing here. Q2 2017 is the release that is expected, okay. And what are all the data, that is what are all the changes that we are expecting out of the release is what you are seeing here. Each one will give you details, okay. If you go here, see it says the person GUID and GA flag have been added in the external auth token. The addition of the person GUID allows person information to be passed from the OAuth authenticator to, so that the global session can be created. So this is basically an upgrade to the system or an update to the system, and they are trying to give you details. If you go and say for release Q 2017, okay, what are all the updates that has come, what are all the changes the system is going to undergo, is what you are seeing here, is all the list, okay. And if you want to know, have further details, you will be able to get the documentation from the help portal, okay. This is the success factor help portal, okay. So if you are looking for any updates on documents, any updates on the system, okay, if you have an user ID, okay, if your client is having an user ID and an access to the success factor, if your client is going to be a success factor partner, okay, you will be able to log in here, okay, and check for updates. Basically, this comes up with an yes user ID. So what happens is, I will tell you the process, okay, because you both are new to the ERP world. Let me tell you. If I'm going to be an SAP user or an product of an SAP, okay, if I'm going to be a company who is using the SAP product, okay, what they will do, they will give you something called as an S user ID, okay. The SAP company will provide something called an S user, where through that S user you will be able to logging into the help SAP help portal, okay, where you can find documentations, you can find research for issues, what has come up for, see, for example, you are looking for some issue, you have some issue in the system, and you realize that issue is not because of the configuration, that issue is because of the system itself, the standard system itself, okay. So what they do, they will be actually releasing certain fixes for these issues, okay. If it is going to be a standard issue which is out of the standard system and it's not because of the customization we make in the system, then they will be giving us something called as an fixes, okay, and those fixes can be accessed. You can go and look for incidents that has been raised by other people, you will be able to see what are the fixes that is being provided, and if you want to update that fix, you will be there, you would be guided on how you do it. Okay, I have it for my client. I will show you how it looks. So here, just for an example, I want to see the updates for Employee Central. Okay, so I go and look Employee Central. I can search. So all the related, even the documentations, the recent updates, everything will get listed here. Okay, I will just go to here. So employee central related information with reference to Q1 2017. Okay, if I want to know the updates with regard to Q2 2017, that also I can see here. Okay, so going back to our admin center, so here you can find details of each changes that has been brought across or that is going to be brought across in the system during a release. Okay, I can see like that. I can go and see for Q1 2017. I will be able to read information on what is this change about. Okay, and if I have to update the changes, okay, this upgrade center will help me, will give me, if there is going to be, see, there are lots of changes that is coming up. Okay, there would have been a legal change in the system where, let me say, just for an example, okay, if IRS going to change the, I am in Georgia, so my state tax is 6.2%, okay, and IRS is changing the state tax from 6.2% to 7%, okay, and I am using SAP SuccessFactors, and I am having employee central payroll, and I have to update the system from 6.2 to 7, right? So this is one change. This is a legal change. Okay. Second, another change could be for performance and goals management. Let me say they added one more field for signature. Okay, that this functionality is already available, but I'm just telling you, they added one more field where you can do an electronic signature in the system. Okay, and this change, they have made that update available for us, but it is up to us whether I want to use it or not, which is a recommended upgrade or an optional upgrade for me, right? So based on the different updates that the company has brought up for the system, okay, I will be able to see, okay, what are all the important upgrades for my company, okay, and what are all the recommended upgrades, which is which is good to do, okay, and these are all need to do. Okay, important upgrades are need to do, and this recommended upgrades are good to do. Optional upgrades is you can skip. If you want to do it, you can do it, or it's fine. Okay, so here I could go and see for each module separately. I can filter down and see. Okay, and I can also, I will show you if I want to go and update, because let me see if it is payroll, it might not work, but I can, because we don't have the employee central payroll connected in the backend, right? Okay. Let me say Japan new name field. So all these are these are all cannot be updated. If it can be updated for us, okay, I think these are all the old ones. Let me see, it's 2014-15. Okay, I will just click on this. We will see how we will be updating it with an valid item which could be updated. Okay, see here, when I click on that change, it will give me what is this change that is going to be brought up in the system. So it will give you the description on the change. It will say, tell you what is going to change. And if, see, as I told you, I was telling you about the GA rate going from 6.2 to 7%, right? So if there is a specific update newsletter given by that government, like for US we have IRS, right? So those documents will be available for us here, okay? And if I had been, if this is not an see, this is only an announcement for an upcoming upgrade. You will not be able to perform any operations on this feature upgrade. This is what they are saying, but it's for April 2014. I don't think so it is a valid one right now, okay? So, and this is for New Zealand. So it will tell you here what are all the details of this upgrade and what are all the references which has resulted in this update is what you can see, okay? Let me go and show you one which we can try upgrading, okay? The same release center, okay? I could go down here, okay? Upgrade center, it is a shortcut where I can go directly, okay? Either I can go at the company settings or I can go from here as well, okay? If an update is available for us to apply it in the system, okay, then you will be seeing an option like this. See, in people profile you say learn more and upgrade now, right? If I go and click there, again it will as usual it will give me a description on what is this change about. See, people profile is a new user interface or employee profile and employee central, featuring an intuitive and modern user experience, a consolidated one-page view of the entire employee profile. So this is one upgrade which is for the presentation of data or presentation of employees profile in the employee central system, okay? So it will give you information on how many customers have upgraded, okay? And if you see here, I will take you on role-based permissions. I was telling you, right? I will take you on role-based permissions, but it will tell you whether what is the prerequisite for updating this feature. So you should be having role-based permissions updated in your system, okay? So this is what if you had not updated role-based permissions in your system. That's so when I click on that item, it will enable you to go to that specific item and you can go and upgrade it, okay? For now, the RBPs are role-based permissions are already upgraded here, okay? I will go back. That's why you don't get an option for upgrade now. If a specific update is eligible for upgrade into the system or for applying it into the system, okay, we will be able to see this option as upgrade now, okay? When we click on it, it will tell you that are you sure you want to do it, and you can actually call back this update. For example, this feature, you realize that it would add an value to the employee, then employees come up or during testing, after you upgrade this in the system, the testing team come back and say no, they don't want this functionality, the users are comfortable with their old view, okay? Then we can go and revert this change. We will see how to revert this change, okay? First let us update this, then we will see how to revert this change. So once this is updated, okay, here you can see the log on what has been recently completed for upgrades, okay? You remember, you are able to recall we updated the people profile, okay? And it will give you information on when it was done, okay, whether it was successful or not, and who did the upgrade. So if you want to go ahead and you want to revert this change, okay, let me see, 314. No, I cannot revert this. Okay, let's see if you want to go ahead and revert this. you go and say undo. Okay. So it would say undo successful, and if you want to upgrade it now, you can again do it. Okay, this is where you will be able to see the changes that is there in your that the updates or the changes, system level developments that has been brought up by that company, by, when I say by that company, by SAP SuccessFactor, and you will be able to update those developments or those technical changes to your system by accessing the release center. Okay, the upgrade center. Okay, so as I told you, there are 4 releases which SuccessFactor comes up for as in a year. Okay, what happens is the initially all the changes, irrespective of whether it is going to be a technical change or it is going to be an user level changes and or a cosmetic changes, they were doing it across all releases. Okay, then what they did, they slowly realized that during the I think it is during the first and the fourth quarter, it's because of the year end or the start of the year, things keep coming up for the client and they don't find time for testing. Okay, they moved all the technical level updates to release only during second and the third quarter. The first and the fourth quarter releases will just be having cosmetic level changes or an presentation level changes, which will not require more time for testing. Normally the second and the third quarter will have technical level changes, technical level modifications in the system, which would require more testing, where they find the clients to have to spend more time on testing, but because it is not an year end for them. Okay, so this is about the upgrade center and the release center. Okay, let me show you the support as well. I was telling you, right, you will be able to access the SAP help here for recent upgrades and issues, and to access recent changes or to have updated information about the system. Here under the support, you will also be able to browse for common issues. See, you see here they have given us common issues where you will be able to get access the knowledge base or the database of the incidents which has been already created by couple of other users or couple of other companies. Okay, where you will be able to browse through and see if you have the same issue and you are having some issue in the system and you realize that it is going to be a standard system issue and not a configuration issue, because we touching the system, it is not an issue. The system itself is reacting that way and you want to browse and see what could be done. Okay, then we will be able to browse the knowledge base here. Okay, and look for incidents which has been already created. Similarly, if you want to create an incident, you will be able to do that. For example, I clicked it on here. Okay, so upgrade center permission is one incident which has been created by the community. Okay, by the SuccessFactor community users, whoever could be, and they are giving you solutions on how you do it. Either it could be an user training issue as well, because the system being new. Okay, it could be an user training issue as well, where they would have come back and said that this is what you do, there is an option in the system and this is not an system issue which needs to be fixed. Okay, like that. So if you have issues which you are coming across, for which you are looking solution, you will be able to look for the knowledge base. Okay, you will be able to see, and if you had created something to the community, okay, if you have created something to the SuccessFactor community, you will be able to see the list of incidents that has been created by us. I mean by your company as a client. If you raised something, you will be able to see the list of those information here, and who created, what is the component, okay, when was it created, all those information you will be able to see that here, okay. And if you want to create a new incident, you can create it. So yeah, I will, Sanjita.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Okay, you will be able to do it here, okay. And I was trying to tell you something. Okay, when it comes to I'm not able to see. When it comes to recruitment, okay, there are certain actions which could be done only by the success factor company. We will not be able to do certain actions. For example, there is something called indexing, okay. Indexing, it is an activity, okay, which could be done only by the company. We cannot do anything. They do it. They are not providing us the privilege to do the indexing in the system, okay. In that case, we can create an incident here, and they will give you, there is an incident, they will give you different what to say, categories on which type of incident you should create to them when you want them to look into a specific activity or do a specific activity, okay. So in order to do that, okay, you will be able to select the product. I think the functionality here, it is not working because this is a sales client, right? That's why I'm not able to show you creating an incident, okay. But other ways, 1 second, visa. But on other ways, you will be able to actually create an incident. You can select the product, okay, and you can send. What happens when you send this incident to them? When you say incident, you are having an issue, okay, and you are highlighting that issue, or you want the SAP SuccessFactor company to look into your system and do some activity. So you will be able to contact them through this node, okay. This is what this support incident node is for, and you can create an incident here, okay. It's because it's a sales client, we are not able to do anything with regard to this incident, because I am logging into my the user ID and password. User ID, what you are seeing is my client ID, okay, but I will not be able to use this here. It's a security violation, okay. So I'm anyway going off. I will log out from here. Okay, so this is the place where you're trying to access the knowledge base, where you will be able to get in touch with the success factor support team, where if you want them to do something, they will be able to do it for us, okay. So this is with reference to the success factor support. I want to see what all I need to cover as a part of foundation. Uh, yeah, whatever I was talking about is about the in-product support, okay. So yesterday we saw about the how to create a tile. Did I show her? Yes. So creating tiles, working on, okay, on favorites, setting the link as favorites, okay. If you see here, you can set if you are going to be an user, okay, and you keep working on a specific process or a specific node again and again, okay. In that case, instead of going and typing it every time, okay, let me say rating scale, okay, instead of going and typing it every time and going to that node, okay, you can set them as a favorite. Like our in Internet Explorer, we save our favorites, right? Like that, we will be able to save the favorites in the system, okay, where you can have a shortcut. Okay, so how do you set something as favorite? You go, okay, you go and click on it here. You see that star? When you click on it here, it will get listed up here as an favorite, okay. So this will help us to go to the node directly instead of doing it from typing and trying to go to that node and trying to go to that functionality, okay. And we saw about upgrade center. I told you about release center, yeah. I have to take you through an RB piece. I will do it now. Yeah, proxies. We saw about proxies. Yeah, we saw about creating a theme. We covered on how to manage styles, updating company logo, disable help tutorials, text replacement, company dictionary. We saw about legal scan library now. I have still more to take you on. Rating scale. And okay. Rating scales. So any idea what is this rating scale about, Fiza?
Rating scale is used for evaluating performance of the employees on a scale of 1 to 5, or howsoever it works for different companies. It might be based on the scale, how it is defined. Somewhere it is defined as meets expectation, above expectation, or below expectation. That's how they are rated, or rated A, B, C, D, E. So it's basically to evaluate the performance of the
Exactly.
employees.
Yes, okay. So, yeah, you are exactly right. So it is not just evaluating the employees, it could be evaluating for your interview as well, okay. It could be evaluation for a succession where you want to see whether this person can be a successor for another person. You want to use a rating scale, okay. So this rating scale is used again across all modules. So it is being as a part of company setting, okay. So going forward, we will use this rating scale, whatever we are going to create now, okay. So we will see where we use it, but now we will see how to create a rating scale, okay. Under company settings, you have a node called rating scale, okay. Where these are the currently available list of rating scales, okay. If you want to go and see them, this is where when you click on that specific item, you can see the name, the description, okay, and the specific scores, okay. Let me tell you, let's go and create one rating scale, okay. For performance review, okay. I can either say I want only 3, okay. I can I can determine how many rating scales I need, okay. Oh, I didn't I can determine how many levels I need for rating scale, okay. or I can build my own. So if I have to build my own, I can say add new score, and if I want my rating scale to start with 10, okay, and I want it to end at 50, okay, then each one is by 10. When I say generate, okay, so it will get generated. I can say here whatever label I want to say, okay. So whatever you mentioned is what we are doing here, okay. And you want to give further information on what is it about that specific score, then you can go ahead and provide the description, okay. It's basically an word text box, okay. You go and save this here, okay. This is where you go and create rating scales, and this rating scale will be called in the performance templates, in the performance forms, review forms, this in the 360 review forms, in the goals execution area, okay. So all this rating scale, so what happens when you get the requirement from the client, you will have to ask them what are the different set of rating scales that is used across the company for their different purposes, where you will be creating all those rating scales here, okay. On the reason why I am taking to here is the same rating scale node is available as a part of performance, okay. Let me see. The same rating scale functionality is available as a part of 360 degree, okay. So when you go down here, okay, it will take you to the same node where you went and created under company setting. You remember I created something as TYSCO, right? So as this is a common functionality, okay, you will be able to do it anywhere across, or you can do it under company setting. The reason why I'm taking you through it right now is to have some data created by you, so that when I take through performance, I will not cover this, because this is something very small which need not be covered as a part of performance and goals management module, okay. Route map. Okay. I was telling you about route map. Do you remember what is the route map is all about? Or I was telling you something as workflow.
No,
Okay,
I don't remember.
that's okay. Okay. Route map is basically you are telling the system what to do when a specific process is triggered. For example, if I'm going to change my address, okay, I am a user, I'm going to change my address. So if I'm going to change my address, and as per my company's policies, I should provide them the address proof, okay. So who should verify the address proof? The HR should verify the address proof and approve the change in the system. Okay. So having said that, so what are we trying to say here? We are trying to say if there is going to be an address change process that is triggered by an employee or an user, then from that employee to user, it should go to HR, right? And HR should approve it, right? So I am trying to define the path, how this process should be routed, how this process should be routed, and how this process should flow in order to get completed in the system. Okay, this is nothing called a route map. Okay, a route map. So in route map, what all I will be telling, what all I will be creating, I will be saying how many steps are there, right? How many steps are there for me for a process to get completed. Then I will have to say who are all the people in each step, right? Who are all the people in each step and what are they supposed to do, right? So I will be telling them, giving them the steps, defining the people who will be part of each step, each stage. Okay, and I will also say whether is there an if it is going to be a performance review process. Okay, I did my self evaluation. After my self evaluation, where should it go? It should go to my manager. Okay, then manage at, so what first stage is employee, second stage is manager, and after my manager, so second stage is go to manager. Okay, and that manager step, what he is supposed to do. Okay, or if it is going to be I am reporting to two managers at a time because of my multi position. Okay, then my self evaluation should go to two people, right? So that is the stage, and that stage I will define the step on who are all will be there in that, and in that step, two managers or one manager, and then when that is completed, then it should go to senior manager for approval. So at that is an third stage where he will have an step defined for him. Okay, then once that is done, it will go to HR, and to HR, I will have an one-to-one review meeting with them. So what I need to have, I should have a different meeting as a stage, okay, where I will call the HR, and that HR we will have a discussion where in the meeting it will be scheduled, okay, and then it will get completed with an completion stage where I'm completing saying my whole review process is completed. So this is the whole step of how a route map is. Okay, why we are defining a route map. Okay, so we will now see how to create that in the system. Okay, company setting. Okay,
So, if I understand correctly, the route map is to update any changes from in the employees' data or in their information, personal information, or any other company-related information. If we want to make any changes or update, which needs approval from the HR and the manager, that's how we build a route map.
okay. If a process involves more than one entity to get completed, okay, then the route map comes into play. You get me? If any process involves more than one person's intervention in order to complete that process, then there needs to be an workflow. There needs to be an definition in the system saying if there are going to be two entities, okay, two people doing one activity to complete it, then I should tell the system this is the first person from whom it is going to initiate. This is the second person to whom it should go, and once this is done by the second person, then the activity gets completed. Okay.
Okay.
Do not restrict yourself saying from employee to manager it should go. Okay, in an practical scenario for a performance review, yes, it from employee and it will end up manager. If it is going to be an address update, it will start from an employee, it will end up with an HR. Okay, but there could be many entities who are involved. What I am trying to explain here is to explain you the concept of route map. Okay, in success factor, in HR terminology, whatever you are trying to define is right. Okay, but the concept of route map is when there is more than one person who needs to do an activity, who needs to be involved in an activity. Okay, then we have to tell the system when, who are all involved, and when they should be involved, right? You get me?
Okay. So for example, say induction or recruitment, if we need a workflow, like know which colleges we are going to and how many interviews or which all people will be involved for panel, or
Exactly.
if we have certain workflow, that's how we build a route map.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Okay, I got your point. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we do that under manage route maps. Okay. I can review my route map list. Okay. When I go and click on the route map list, I will be able to see the list of route maps that's already defined in the system. Okay. I will try to show you one and then we will create one also. Okay. So this is an example of a route map, okay, for annual compensation planning, okay. When creating a route map, okay, I want to, we can have an option, okay. We will see what is a 360-degree review route map. Okay, I will take you through when we see 360-degree. Okay, when we have 360-degree review route map and you want to have a specific route map for 360 process, then we will have to enable this functionality. Do a check mark. Okay. Okay, let me define this, then I will tell you, you can understand this option better. Okay, you will put the route map name, the route map number will automatically get created. Okay, let me tell you this as well. You will be able to create route map on all those languages that has been agreed as a part of language pack. If you want to define it in a different language, yes, you can go and define it in a different language. You have to type that language in the system. Okay, you should have enabled that language for you to type. Okay. Similarly, like we saw for route map, for rating scale as well, there is a language option there, okay, which can be used for updating the language in the way we want it. Okay, the language in which we want, we can create rating scales as well. Okay, which can be used by a company who is using a different language even for their communication purpose. Okay, even for their process related reasons. Okay, so these are called different stages. Let me take a simple one. If I take compensation, you will get kind of okay. 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 I was telling you, right? We are now taking an route map for performance review, okay, which is pretty simple. You know the process on performance review, right? So first what happens? Employee will do an self-evaluation. So as I told you, we will have to define different stages based on who needs to, where it needs to go. So first will be employee assessment. Second, for that company, they are saying it is an manager evaluation. Okay. Third is an one-to-one meeting. Okay, then fourth stage is who is going to complete this section, who is going to complete the review. Okay, last stage is completion, where once it reaches the completion stage, then it means that workflow is completed. Okay, so here I will go and create a stage. Okay, and this stage I will define step in that stage. So what does this step mean? What is this step name called? This step name is called employee assessment. Okay, and who will be part of this who will be part of this step? It is the employee himself, right? So I have different options on to select who are all the different roles. If it is going to be a single person who is just going to work on that activity at this stage. Okay, if it is when it is going to be an employee assessment stage. Okay, so typically what we will be doing, the user himself will log in and he will try to do whatever, he will try to input whatever performance he provided or he did during the during the performance review period, right? So it will be only one person. In that case, you can select the role as single role. Okay, if it is going to be let's say if it is going to be stage 2, okay, where you have to have more than one person in this step itself, in this stage itself. You want to have, for example, at the manager evaluation, okay, you want 2 managers to review. Okay, in that case, and you want the first manager to review, your current manager, you want him to review, and then you want the previous manager to review because you had a transfer. Okay, you can create a route map for performance review in case of transfer. Okay, in that case, that route map on the manager evaluation, it could be iterative. What does iterative mean? One after another, where if as an employee I completed my self-evaluation, and once I complete my self-evaluation, the company says if there is going to be a transfer within 6 months, then you will have to use the route map for recent transfer performance review. Okay, where it should go to the first manager, my current manager, and then it should go to my previous manager. So when I want to define that step, okay, then I will select the option as iterative. Okay, then I will be able to define roles here. So you see here, right? Team member, manager, second level manager, these are all standard roles defined in the system. Okay, so second level manager, matrix level manager, see originator's manager, or if you want to have a custom person, okay, custom role, you can enter that custom role. We will see about the creating what this custom role is about. Okay, when there is something called create dynamic roles. Okay, we will see that. I will take you through that during the I think should be part of performance management or somewhere around there. Okay, we will see how to create a dynamic role. So if you want to create a dynamic role, because let me say what does a dynamic role mean? Yeah, okay, I am an HR representative. Okay, I am at the position of HR analyst. Okay, the address workflow says that once the address is updated, okay, by the user, then he should receive a notification, or sorry, the HR should approve the address change. Okay, and I am an user. Let me say my user ID is TYSCO1. Okay, here I can select a team member. Okay, or let me say here, if I say custom, okay, I can put the username TYSCO1 here. Okay, or I don't want to update TYSCO1. Okay, because if I leave the company, okay, then what will happen when the people who are for whom this workflow is getting triggered, what will happen? It will come to my inbox, right? And I left the company. Then what the administrator should do, he should go, the success factor administrator should manually go and change the workflow to another person. In order to avoid that, I can create a role as HR analyst. Okay, and that HR analyst role can be called here. Okay, so this is what this custom role is for. We will see that when I will take you through how we create a dynamic role and dynamic group, all those functions. Okay, so what I was trying to tell you here is how the iterative works. Okay, and when
I have one question here. When the iterative, when we choose for iterative, it's only for manager evaluation, or it could be at employee assessment stage as well?
it could be at the employee assessment stage as well, but normally, okay, if a process needs two people to kickstart it, okay, for example, I'm just thinking of a process. I'm not able to identify a process where there will be two people initiating the same thing.
Maybe if they're part of a project and they're sharing the goals, maybe then.
Okay, probably maybe then if in that case, yes, for even for employee assessment, you can make it as iterative.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, we will be able to define who needs to be doing that. Okay, and I was saying first it should go to one manager and then it should go to the second manager, right? And in my example, the current and the previous manager. So in that case, who will be the entry user? You and who will be the exit user? The entry user will be the current manager. Okay, the exit user will be the previous manager, because first I want this work list, this workflow to be routed to my current manager. So he will be an entry user. Okay, you got it? And
Yeah.
I can also say who will be an exit user. If there are more people, okay, more than 2 or 3 people, I should definitely define who is an exit and an entry user. Okay, in between, if there are 5 people, okay, I will be able to determine from whom it should start and from whom it should end. Okay, the in between 3 4 might get here and there on the sequence on how the workflow goes. Okay, that the third and fourth, 2 3 and 4 positions will not be, we will not be able to define it exactly on the sequence. Okay, even if it is iterative. Okay, collaboration.
One more question. Like if when we choose iterative and like you said that if you move between positions in the last 6 months, then you could choose for iterative. So my question is like, probably you are starting new in a new position. It might be like 10 days or 20 days, probably just a month that you're starting in a new position, but your previous position is all about the performance, like where the major performance holds. In that case, will it still be iterative, or it is going to be just one manager evaluating the performance?
It will be just one manager, right? If we are starting fresh.
Okay, like even if you're just 1 month into the system, just new, then it wouldn't be 2 managers.
Okay, see what happens, no? Let me tell you this way. How the, see, what you would do here at route map is you will try to identify what are all the different ways of an workflow. Okay, different ways. Okay, we will take scenarios like what you are saying. We will put different scenarios, or we will ask the client, what if there is going to be a change of manager? What if there is going to be a new hire? Okay, for each one of them you will create one route map separately. Okay, and this
Okay.
route map will be called in your performance review template. Okay, your performance review template, when I say performance review template, a performance review form. Okay, so just if we are trying to extend the same example what we are talking. Okay, a performance review form for a new hire, Okay, and a performance review form for an employee who has just moved between departments will be different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
what happens for the performance review form, which is going to be for a new hire, okay, a route map which is relevant with just one entity as a manager will be attached.
Okay.
Okay, for an employee who has moved departments and he has to be reviewed by two people, okay, then there will be a separate review form because he needs to have more space in the form, right? One manager and the next manager, right? There will be a separate form, and that form will get attached to the route map what we are speaking right now, where you have two managers who needs to review at the same time.
Okay.
Got it?
The
So
reason, yeah, the reason I'm asking this because in my previous company, this used to happen during our annual appraisal process. There used to be so many employees who, like, there was, because it was year end and there used to be shifting around the departments or transfers happening.
mm,
And so many employees used to come and tell me because our appraisal system was handled from the back end, from the head office, and all the entries of the managers, the name of the managers, level 1, level 2 was done from the back end. And the HRs were supposed to provide the information like who the managers were for the particular employee. And if the employee has recently changed department or has been transferred, then probably transferred as in transferred within states in India. So
mm.
their manager would also change with the state.
Yes.
So no, it always happened that they used to ask me that how does this work, because it shows their current manager, but they have worked more time under the previous manager. So then I had to go back and tell the IT department to make the changes and get it approved from the national heads and state heads. And there was like this kind of process through emails, but it wasn't like in SuccessFactors. That's why I was wondering. And another scenario was sometimes there was change in the managers. Like if a manager resigned
Mm.
and there's a new manager who's joined and he's only 1 month into the system, he doesn't really know about the team members, about their performance. Only the previous manager would know better.
Yeah.
So in that case, like what should be done the best? Like whether HRs should evaluate or the national heads or the level 1 manager should not evaluate at all. So that was the call that HRs had to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to make sure that during those scenarios or those situations, what happens with success factor? Like, is
Mm-hmm.
it supposed to be manual, or is it supposed, or like you said, that there's going to be a route map? So I guess, yeah, I understand.
Having you talk to me about this scenario, okay, I will tell you
Mhm,
there is a functionality here, okay.
mhm,
I was telling you about the performance review forms, right? In that performance review forms, okay, you can specify there are certain settings, okay, where you can say if a current manager is not, if the manager has moved, okay, if the manager has left the company, or if a team member changes from the current manager to another manager, who you want this review form to be review to be done, okay, we can make that setting under performance review forms. Okay, so what happens in the review forms, which is called as a template in the success factor terminology, okay, all this, there will be an performance review template, performance management template for each process or each different scenarios, okay, and each different scenarios we will be able to define what the system needs to do when there is going to be a manager change, what the system needs to do when the old manager leaves, what the system needs to do if there is going to be two managers at the overlapping performance review period. Okay, so all these we can make setting for the form, okay, and typically this form will be assigned to the user, okay, means you are attaching that review item to the user, where when that user is getting attached to this performance review process, this specific template, Okay, he will, the route map, whatever we have defined, the setting, whatever we have defined in the system for that template, will take it through. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I got the point. Yes.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
will see under performance management when all these settings we will see under performance management. Okay.
Okay. One more question. Like in the like last week, just a moment now, 1 minute. I'm sorry. So I'm saying that last week when we studied about what all topics will be covered in this course, no, the syllabus, and we discussed in detail what each topic covers and how it is. So are we going to study topic-wise, like, or it's right now it's just understanding of the system, just the basics, right? Or is it like along with that we are just going, we're covering topics?
I'm covering topics, okay, but I will be now what I'm covering is the foundation,
Foundation, yeah, basics, right?
okay, and whatever I'm covering now will be applied in going forward in the topics which I will be taking through.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that I understand. I just wanted to make sure that if we are doing like, completing topics, then I wanted to make sure I'm making notes side by side and I'm, revising and revisiting the recording so that I understand much like more of this stuff. But if it is foundation, then I think I should be okay. I should be, understanding the concepts and moving forward when we are applying on the topics, I think I will be able to understand better.
Okay. One thing which I want to tell you here, okay, having raised this question, when it comes to
Mhm.
rating scales or route maps, okay, as I'm
Mhm.
taking you through how this works and how you configure it, okay,
Mhm.
when I take performance and goals management for you, okay, I will tell you how you call this route map in the system when you when you want to call this in the performance review template, and what are all the settings which you can make with this route map for the performance template. Okay, so I might not be covering again this route map configuration information for to you. You get?
Okay.
So I would suggest that you start taking notes.
Okay.
Okay, because when I say, see, this release center, upgrade center, or the company dictionary, legal scan library, those are all small things. Okay, but when it comes
Mhm.
to rating scale route maps, which is extensively used in that specific module, okay, then I might not be able to go through each node like I'm showing you now and trying to create values, because there you will have to work on doing your performance process. Okay, this is a
Mhm.
prerequisite for you to do your performance process.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mhm.
at that time I will not be able to take you through the prerequisites. I want to take you through the system functionality, what you do for performance.
Okay.
Okay, so I would suggest you start taking notes, because as far as my training, whatever I go through, whatever I take during the classes, okay, I just don't try to cover topics which is not of relevance to you or which you will not be using. Okay, so and whatever session you are trying to attend, even the yesterday's one or going forward, it would be definitely something which needs to be used when I take you through the relevant topics.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm. All right. So, so you're going to share the assignments and the recording,
Yes.
and will you be able to share the that Excel file or that presentation that you were using, so that I just make some notes on that presentation only, along with those terminologies alongside, and
Normally, I don't share this presentation because it's kind of a scrapbook for me. Okay, I just whatever I miss or I want to ensure that I cover it for you, or some things which I feel cannot show it in the system right now, okay, then I refer this PowerPoint, okay. It's not an organized PowerPoint at all, okay. So they like in my notebook, where to ensure that I'm covering things for you. Okay.
Okay.
But whatever screenshots which I tell you that I cannot show you in the system, I can only give you screenshot. Those are all screenshots will be part of the material which I am giving you.
Okay.
Okay, you will not miss any information. Either it should be in your recording, okay, or it should be in the material which I am giving you. Okay, so either you can do it in the admin center when you listen to the recording, or you will have the material where you can see the screenshot which I am showing you as part of this PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay, this is not an organized PowerPoint. It's a kind of an scrapbook. Okay, so it's not worth sharing.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. So can we do one thing? We will again um, uh, get back at 10:20. Is that fine?
Yeah, sure.
Because I will take for 30 more minutes. So we'll take a break till 10:20. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I said 10:20, right? In 7 minutes. I just realized that you are 3 hours before me.
Yeah, no problem. I got the point. It's 7:13 right now, so 7:20.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Hi, Lavanya.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about route maps, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were talking about iterative. Okay. So then there is something called collaboration where simultaneously you want more than one person to do. What we were talking about iterative is one person doing after the other, right? But here you want more than one person to act on it the same time. So what happens is if you choose an iterative, okay, if you have set the system to send an email notification, okay, where to say that if this process is completed, now this is now your turn to work on the action item, okay, they will get an email. In the iterative process, what will happen is only when the entry user has completed the action, okay, then it will go to the next user. Then an email will be sent to the next user saying that you are supposed to work on this specific item. But when it's going to be collaborative, all people will get notification on the same time, will get email on the same time, okay, saying that you have to complete this action in the system for the purpose of anything. It could be a review or it could be a recruiter, okay, he's a recruiter and three people have uh, um, are part of the interview process, okay, where all three of them will get a notification saying you will have to provide feedback for the applicant who you interviewed on this date, okay, just an example. So when this is going to be collaborative, two or three people will be able to edit that action or edit that workflow at the same time, okay. So when you select the role as collaboration, again you can select here on who should be the person who is doing it, okay. And when it is going to be collaboration, you will have to sell the system who is the last person who needs to complete this action. If it is going to be iterative, it's going to be one after the other, right? If it is going to be collaborative, where more than one person receiving and doing an activity at the same time, doing the approval process or providing feedback at the same time, then you are going to tell the system when this specific user completes, then go to the next stage, because the system should know when it should go to the next stage, right? So you have to tell the system who is going to be the exit user out of the roles who you have defined during this collaboration step, okay. And as a part of this one, okay, any stage, it could be an employee assessment stage or a manager evaluation stage, okay, any stage, this all these settings will apply in general, okay, and the advanced options as well. If it is going to be for any stage, all this uh, settings will apply, okay, saying that the start date is when is this route map applicable. For example, HR is coming and telling you, the corporate HR, okay, is coming and telling you that effective June 2017, I want a specific workflow which is just for this process, okay. So you can make that as an start date, okay. And you want to specify that this workflow has to be is valid only till this date, okay. Then you can say exit date, okay. And you want to specify a due date for the workflow. For example, you say by this date you want the actions to be completed, okay. For example, let me say for the employee assessment, okay, you want you want the due date to be always 26th of May 2017, where going forward it will take the date as 26th May 2018. Okay, so you want to have an due date set up for this workflow. Okay, this for this stage, then you can define it here. Then if you need a start date which needs to be enforced, you can say yes. Okay, and if you want to send emails on the due date, okay, then they will get email notifications on the due date. Okay, yesterday I was telling about how you create email notification templates, how do you define the text, and what are all the process that needs to be that you can activate email notification. Where do you go and check? I was telling, but I will just take you through the note today because it's just you today. Okay, after I complete this. Okay. Okay, all these are okay. Step introduction and mouse over text. Okay, when the person goes to that action item. Okay, for me, if employee assessment, I am going to do the employee assessment. I am the employee. Okay, and I am going to do the employee assessment, self-evaluation for myself. 1 second, please. I'm sorry. Okay. When the action item is available in the employee's work list, okay, and he goes and places his mouse over that, okay, on the introduction area, then what should that mouse over text should have? I can go and type it here. Okay, after completion, what is the text you want to have? These are all you can say once that is completed. Okay, you say then it goes for it, you can say manager review. Okay, so you can define what should be the step name after completing this process. Okay, and step mode. Okay, this one will basically enable to edit the information in the form. For example, in the performance review form, okay, this route map is assigned. Okay, and it is with me. Am I given permission to edit the form? Can I go and edit the form, or I can only add comments? For example, not on the sections where I need to type in. Okay, I am not saying about the sections where I need to type in the review form, but end of the form, or I want to change the form itself. Okay, I want to change the form, change the sequence of the sections in the form. In this stage, am I enabling only a comment information, or I am giving permission to edit the step? Okay, this functionality works here based on what I select here. Okay, then when I complete the exit button, okay, what should be the text that should be there? When I say exit this process, exit this step, okay, what should be the comment that should be available? Okay, then step exit text. So these are all the text which will be appearing for the user when he goes and works on the form, when this workflow is triggered. Okay, we will see this when we you can actually see this working when we see the performance review form. Okay, whatever you configure here is what will be showing in the action item, or on the action workflow item when the user is working on this stage of that process. Okay, then this is also a text which you can specify in the previous button. So when in the form there will be buttons, right? Previous step, next step, complete, right? All this step, instead of saying previous step, whatever you type here can be showing up there. If you say previous step exit button, okay, in the previous step exit button, you want to say please save the form. You want to say please save the form because he is exiting, okay? So you want to say please save the form, and then once he saves the form, then it goes back to the previous step, okay? So these are all kind of an functionality which will enable the person who is doing that step to assist him to complete the process or assist him to go forward with the action what needs to be done, okay? Then this start of review. Is this process an start of review stage? For example, where are we? We are on the employee assessment, right? Under employee assessment, is this the start of the review process? Yes, if it is going to be the start of the review, then I can say yes, start of review, okay? Then out of turn access. Out of turn access is if this form can be, or this route map can be used for any other process, okay? So or can this route form be edited during the process, is what this out of turn access is, okay? And one-to-one meeting, okay? This one-to-one meeting, okay, if I am going to determine an one-to-one meeting, okay, if this stage is going to have an one-to-one meeting, okay, I will be able to actually go and click on it. Let me see. Oh, I didn't complete this. Did I change it? Let me go back. I don't want to change the existing one. I will create one and show you. Probably I can create one and show you in the next class, so that or you create one and tell me what are the issues you come across, so that you can have a better understanding. I can also create one and show you. See, normally if it is going to be an one-to-one meeting, this will get checked off, okay? You can check it if it is going to be a one-to-one meeting. See, that's what it is. See here, I don't know. Oh, okay, for employee assessment I could not do it. Here you will be able to check it, where it says you will have a meeting with the respective person with and as a part of this role. See here, in the one-to-one meeting stage, you have a single role with the manager, okay? And you will say, you will tick this if it is going to be a meeting stage, okay? Signature stage, okay? Signature stage, at this stage, this is basically who will approve or with whom this form can be completed, okay? Here I can determine the step name, which is basically a signature step, okay? I can determine who will be part of this step, who needs to sign off on the form, who would say that I agree for this thing, this process is completed, okay? So here we will be defining the role who will be completing that specific step, okay, of signature, okay? The exit date, due date, all forms the same. Let me see. I don't think so. We have a different. So the same mouse over text can be specified here for the signature name as signature stage as well. Okay. Then finally it is the completion stage. When the workflow goes through all these stages, okay, and it gets signed off by the manager, okay, Then it goes to the completion stage, where what do I define in the completion stage? The manager has already signed off on the signature, right? And it has it's basically completed. So what does this completion stage do? Here an email notification will be sent to the people who I want to be intimating. Okay, I can say for team member, manager, second level manager, they will get an information on the form. Okay, they will get a copy of the form, and they will also get an intimation on what intimation on that this review process, this workflow has been completed. Okay, and I can also have an introduction mouse over text for this stage. Okay, so this is how an route map is. Okay, I will be defining stages, and in that stage I will be defining steps on who needs to do, who are all the people who will be available in that stage. Okay, then I will define the signature stage, and I will define the completion stage. So this is what a route map is. So if I have to, okay, I'll just create a simple one now. Here I will be able to see who updated it. Okay, and see here it says related templates, right? So it means these are the review templates. Okay, either it could be a performance review template or a multi-rater review template, a 360-degree template. Okay, it could be, this route map could be used for any of the review process or any of the process in the company, right? So having said that, which all forms, which are review processes having this route map assigned is what we are seeing here. Okay, and if a specific template needs to be deleted, it gets deleted here. Okay, if I have to create a new route map, okay, there are standard route maps provided by the SuccessFactor library. Okay, I can determine based on each process, the 360 employee manager process, 360 HR process. Okay, similarly, scroll down, performance management. Okay, see, you have different scenarios which SuccessFactor has come up with. Okay, manager only evaluation, manager only review, manager only review with HR signature, manager only review with second level manager. All these are standard defined in the system. Okay, which you can go, let me just say, take this. Okay, and you can add to your instance. When you say add to my instance, let me, so this is already defined. Okay, here I can modify it again. I can modify each one of it. I can say, I can create create a different role. I can also add a stage. Okay, I will add a stage as senior manager. In that senior manager evaluation, I can say again who needs to be there. I will say second level manager. I can define mouse over text. I can say whether the out of turn access is needed. Okay, all these I can define. So this is, no, I haven't completed this step. Employee self-evaluation. What did I do? Did I change something? Oh, okay. I can, so let me say this. Okay, this one. I was telling you about this functionality, right? Only create iterative and collaboration steps when all roles exist for an user. For example, okay, this functionality is you asked me one question, right? Where the manager would have left, and we have created a route map for it to go to the previous manager. Okay, whatever we discussed before. So the previous manager has left the company. Okay, when you select this option, okay, so it says only create iterative and collaborative steps when all roles exist for a user. If I'm saying a second level manager, okay, that role is not available for the user because that manager left the company, okay, then it will actually skip this step when I select the route map step as iterative or collaborative for that stage. Okay, so this is one functionality which can be controlled, or one scenario which can be controlled at the route map level. Okay. If I build my own, the route map ID will get created. It's a default. I can change it to TYSCO. Okay. I can go and create a stage. It's the same thing what I was trying to explain you, just to so if you see here, I can define all these parameters. I can say superior evaluation. Here I will say I want it iterative. Okay, and in iterative I want my manager as an entry user. Okay, then I want my second level manager as an exit user. Okay, I can specify it here. So here what happens, there will be two people doing it. Okay, then I can again add another stage saying final review. Okay, under final review I say I want it to be a collaborative step where I have my manager, I have second level manager, okay, then I have HR. and I want the last person to do the final review is HR. Okay, then at the signature stage I will say HR sign off. Step type is HR rep. Okay, then at the completion stage I can determine who and all needs to be sent a copy. Team member, manager, second level manager, and HR rep. Okay, this is a simple route map what we are creating. Okay, so if you see here, the route map which I created will be listed. Okay, TYSCO route map, and if it is active, then it means it is being currently used. Okay, if I don't want to use it and I want to deactivate this in the system, then I can go and take off the active check mark where it cannot be used anymore. Okay, so this is about route maps. I will just take you through email notification template, which we saw yesterday. Okay, so I was telling you about email notification going to the respective users, right? In SuccessFactor, we will be able to set or determine on what all cases you want an email to be triggered, okay, and what should be the information that should be going to during when an email is triggered. Okay, so that you can do it under email notification template settings. Okay, so this is what I was speaking about. Here each process is defined. Either it is just not for a specific process, for performance review process, for recruitment process, for employee update process, for user information process. Okay, when a new user is created, when the password is getting reset, or when the goals are deleted, or when a new goal is assigned to a team member. Okay, or let me tell you, when a time of work schedule, when the work schedule is changed for a team member. Okay, so all these processes which can trigger emails can be worked on here in this node. Okay, and if you want to have an email notification that needs to be sent, then you will have to go and activate it here. One, okay, and where is the content, where will you type it? Click on that item, okay, and scroll down. You will be able to see the text what needs to be typed here. Okay, and you can basically type the text whatever needs to go to the user as a part of that process. Okay, and these tags whatever you're seeing are called tokens. Okay, these are standard tags or tokens in a success factor terminology, where when you call this, the value will change dynamically based on the user information or based on the process information. Okay, so this is where you will go and create email notification templates, and you will determine whether you want to send an email notification or not. Okay, okay, so we saw about route maps. I still have to cover role-based permissions and mobile setting. XML also I can cover it next week, next class. I think we should be good for today. RBP will take another 30 minutes. I don't want to go with RBP. Yeah, okay. So I still have RBP and mobile settings. Okay, we will see that in the next class as a part of foundation. Okay, and probably I will see, yeah, then if we have time, then I will start with XML also. Okay, XML file structure and how it looks. Okay, we will see that as well. Okay, any questions, Fiza?
Not as of now. Probably I'll go through the recordings once I get them, and I'll see whatever assignments I'm supposed to do. And after that, do we have class tomorrow now? No.
No, no, the next class is on Thursday at 8:30 p.m.
Thursday at 8:30?
Can
Okay.
Thursday 9 p.m. I think that's little comfortable for me. Uh, yeah,
Thursday 9 p.m.?
yes, 9 p.m. EST. I will send an email.
Okay. Okay, so that should be fine. Or like if it is not workable for you, I'm available doing it on Sunday as well. Like Sunday morning, if we can do it at around like 7